Right, so I thought it was about time I looked at this radio. This came in a mailbag over a month ago now, I think. I haven't even powered it up yet. I haven't tested it. Now, actually, I think I'll show you this, but it's been painted, and you can see that the original coating's peeling off, and it's just like, no, really badly done. They've done it to make it look better, but it's been better to peel it off and then paint it and just start fresh. You know, it's like, yeah, that's just. Anyway, and it's got some bodges like this on the back of it, where it's got a bloody jack soldered onto there instead of mounted on the chassis and stuff like that. So I'm going to connect these power wires up, and then we'll switch it on. I haven't powered it yet, as I say. It's glue. Let's try to glue it down. Oh my god. Anyway, right. Let's power this thing up. Let's just see we go. Apparently it did half work. It did have a fault, which is why I bought it. I don't know yet. I don't remember what the fault was. I think it either didn't transmit or didn't receive or something like that. I don't remember. Right. Power is connected. Move this back in so you can see the front a bit better. Lighting, unfortunately, I need to get some better lighting here. I'm not happy with it. I needed something behind the camera. Right, okay. It's default things. I've gained RT center roughly. Yeah, roughly. Always blanket on, off. Okay, that's all those off. Right, here we go. Well, that's not a good start. She's dead, Jim. Okay. I didn't get very far, did it? Alright, let's actually I don't need to do that. Let's pull this thing apart. Probably an issue with power supply. Let's get a screwdriver. If I can find it. Where's he gone? No, there it is. Something else I was pulling apart, which is on the floor, which I need to also get back to. Let's see what we got. Being, you know, a lot of these HRs now, they're getting quite old. So, well, all the HRs are getting quite old. So I think part of the problem with them now is that capacitors are starting to fail quite badly, and you're getting lots of issues from that. Yeah, it looks like there's no speaker in there. What's that been up to in this thing? Yeah, it's been butchered a bit, isn't it? Normally I'd open the radio up before I power it on, but I just wanted to do the whole thing on camera and just see what the hell happens. If it goes bang, it goes bang. You know, it's the worst case. It's still okay for some parts. Anyway, right. Let's see what we get. Okay. Inside there looks intact, kind of okay. They've soldered the jumper PCB in. You're supposed to adjust it properly. Idiots. Someone's soldered it in. You don't do that. It's removable for a reason. Anyway, never mind. There are other ways of measuring it, but it's not as accurate as taking it out. Anyway, capacitors, yeah. I mean, I think they're Rubicon or something, aren't they? These ones, I can't remember what they are. But yeah, they there's nothing obviously bad there. Let's look on this side. Again, no speaker. Why? Why would you take it out? That's just dumb. Oh my god, right. Right. This is a mess. Someone's been playing with this. Very interesting. Right. It's got all the scraping around here, and it's got that adhesive glue there, all in all the pins. that dodgy glue, but it looks like someone's been hacking it with a screwdriver. I want to hope it hasn't damaged the IC. It looks pretty bad there, and it's got some adhesive around here and obviously around all those pins, and this resonator is looking a bit dodgy. We'll have to see if it's actually working, because if the resonator's not going, then the display won't come up because the CPU might be working, or MPU, whatever you want to call it. There's signs of that adhesive on here, which has been taken off already by the looks of it by someone, but not stuck back down, so it's not getting any heat sinking. Same for that one there. It's sort of been replaced badly. Yeah, I'm probably going to take the CPU board out and have a look at that, but I suspect there's no power on there, or this is all dodgy. So someone that knows a little bit about electronics has been doing this, but they haven't done a great job. Let's get some test leads going and see what we get out of it. Yes, amateurs. Hey, look, you got to learn somewhere. But I mean, hell, I used to do all sorts of butchery stuff when I was younger, doing radios, you know, learning my way around them. This isn't a perfect earth, but it's good enough. 13 volts there, 5 volts coming out, 8 volts coming out of that one. Okay. Still no display. Just because there's 8 volts and 5 volts coming out the regulator doesn't mean it's getting to the rest of the circuitry. I'll need to figure out where things are. That's interesting. Very interesting. I might have to look at the back of the board and see what's been going on there, because they might have actually damaged some traces on it. Right, just got to probe, see if this resonator is working. There's DC there. I can't see any oscillation. It looks like that's not working, and there's DC there. So that's probably what's wrong with that resonator. Okay, I've got to pull this board out of this and have a really good look at it, because someone's been messing with this. I need to find out what the status is of the whole board, and I'll be able to show you a lot better too in a second. I'm actually tempted to change camera views. Tempted. You notice I pull the power cord out the back, because there's power floating around inside these things all the time, so you have to be a bit careful about them, especially in the final area and things like that, because there's power going straight to the finals constantly, so you have to be a bit careful. I might actually take all the plugs off and take the thing right out and look at it that way. But you have to be a little bit careful with these coax ones, because they're very fragile. Get this out here, down there. Got to be careful not to pull on the wires, because I don't want to be breaking them. Sometimes problems on these are actually due to dodgy connections on these plugs. There's a bit of corrosion on there and stuff like that. So sometimes it's actually a good idea to actually unplug them and reseat them. Okay, here's the board out. Just want to get a better shot on the camera here, so you can see just here, hopefully, There's glue and stuff all in between those pins, and in there it's all been scratched and scraped up. There we go. This has been resoldered just here. Let's have a look on the back of the board. What we got? Interesting mod jumper there. It's probably the that'd be the 26 MHz expansion. There's a jumper going between here and here. What have they done there? What have they done there? That's interesting. Yeah, the track which used to go from there to that pin is burnt out. So you can see that it's actually missing. But I think there's actually 2 tracks missing, not 1. There are. I can see another piece of track missing. So this is going to need a bit of refurbishment. You see it's got this glue all over here which has been half picked off. So I'm going to get all this off and try and clean this up and sort it out. It's a mess, but I can see there's 2 tracks missing, not 1. Or at least it may be damaged. I'm not sure. Can't quite tell. Comes over here, so this pad comes across the top, and comes up to somewhere. I can't quite see where it goes. Not from here anyway. But I'll clean this up first, and then we'll go from there. I'm going to come back. I thought I'd show you a little trick with this. This glue here is really hard to pick off. But if you've got a hot air station, you're going to warm it up a little bit, and it softens it, and then you can just peel it straight off, just like that. Obviously, you don't want to get it too hot because you don't want to melt the solder, but it just means you can just pick all this glue off, just like that. Dead easy, no struggle. You know, obviously I've got the thing moving around a little bit, but you know, it just comes straight off. Not an issue, dead easy. Alright, that's the trick to getting that stuff off. Right, so I've been making some progress with this, cleaning this up. I might actually change this camera view, but if you look at this resonator here, you can just see that track comes up to it from the right hand side, and there's a solder blob going from the end of that track to the leg of the resonator. That's not supposed to be there. That goes to the pad right there. There's a resonator leg, there's a pad, which is a wire which goes through to that trace. So that bob isn't supposed to be bridging across those 2 tracks like that. Okay, I've cleaned a lot of the glue off, as you can see here. I've got it all off here. Unfortunately, there's actually adhesive underneath the IC. To get that out, I'll have to take a chip out, and that's a bit of a risk. There's a lot of risk of damaging the board. I mean, it's doable, but I prefer not to do it. Unless I know for sure that glue's giving a problem. So I'm actually going to leave that as it is for now. Alright, so I think I'll change this camera angle, and then we shall carry on. But right now the resonator's not running because it's got a DC short on it. And I believe there is an issue with that track, and I've got to measure it yet, but it looks like it's got a problem, so I'll come back soon. Okay, better camera angle. This should be better lighting too. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, so there you go. You can see that. You can see that trace there, and there's that solder blob right there going to that leg, and that's not meant to be there. And there's almost a bridge there between that as well, but that's not actually an issue. And so there's a trace. There's 2 traces burnt out. There's one which always burns out when it's got a issue with the voltage regulator. You can see it's gone. That always burns out, which is so it's often when you get one of these which has been repaired before, you often get a bridge across here like that. But there's a trace next to it just here, which also looks like it's gone. So I need to check that one as well. But so I shall fix that, and I shall measure that. Since I already have the meter going, let's just have a look first. Let's do continuity and see if I can measure out this track. So I believe it goes to there. Yeah. It might be okay. Where does it go to? Just trying to trace it out. Not entirely sure. I think it goes up to there. Just Get your resist. Yeah, okay. That's still intact, so that's okay. It just doesn't look great. I might actually give it a scrape and put some solder on it. Can I get in there with my little pin? I don't think I can. No. Yeah, it's okay. It just needs some coating on this. Obviously been affected by the heat from the other track burning out next to it. So it's intact, and that's the main thing. So I just want to make sure it's not got bare copper there, which is going to get corroded and then get in the way and what have you. So I just want to make sure it's all nice. I shall redo that to put a bit of solder over the top just to protect it. Okay, let's get the other iron going. And as for this, well, yeah, that's completely wrong. So, yeah, so someone's obviously had to go out repairing it because of this being blown, and this one here blowing that trace. That looks like original soldering, so I don't think they've actually replaced that. And that soldering is bad. That soldering is bad. It's just make it just slightly short anything out. Yeah, but that's just the resistor. Pull up resistor for the is it channel pin 34, 35, is it 33, 34? I can't remember exactly what pins they are on now, but yeah, that's all it is the pull up for that. So that's the original ground track here, which used to go across to there, and that's been cut in the jump with a pull up resistor. Which is an interesting way of doing it. Normally it comes over to that pin there, like it is. That's a pull up, I believe. Let's find out. I believe that's the constant there, which will be, if I can find the regulator again, I haven't lost it. Which regulator was that one? Or was it the other one? Which I have also lost. Who is it? Near near. Yeah, of course it isn't. It's right there, it's obvious. Got no connection between there or there. I think I've got the right end. I might have the wrong end. It's possible. I don't know. Anyway, we'll figure it out. Right, iron is warmed up now. So this is a mess. Actually, I might need a desoldering pump for that. Actually, let's get these wires out of the way. I've got my desk is a bit of a mess right now. I need to sort this out. Wires everywhere, hanging up where I don't want them to be hanging up. So let's get this off here. Big solder blob. Okay. So it's possible the resonator broke off. They are fragile. They do break off if you're not careful with them, or if they're not been correctly mounted. Okay. So that's the solder bridge gone. There's a blob on this side as well, which also needs to go. It's also sticking out a long way. Yeah, that's definitely had it. Okay. As long as it's making a connection. I thought I bought some of those actually. I thought I bought some resonators. Don't know where they are though. Okay. These caps sometimes, well, most of these caps probably need replacing. It's entirely likely that they need replacing. Stay this. It's just bits everywhere. Okay, so that's the resonator done. That track looks okay. Taking all that crap off. In theory, that'll work now. Let's go find out. Let's get this gunk out of the way. Let's plug it in and see what happens. Like I said, it may or may not work. There is only one way to find out. Hold on, have I got the wrong loom there? I think I might have. That's that one. It's on there. One goes there. There. I probably don't need to plug most of these things in to power it, but it's only really the main cable you need. But just for the sake of completeness, in case there's a short somewhere else or something like that, I'll test it all in one go. Okay, all properly in. Got these little coaxes I have to put in as well. Do those in a second. Actually feels a bit loose there. I might need to tighten it up a little bit. Stick a couple of screws in here so it doesn't move around and short out. That'll do, I suppose. Yeah, should be right. Now, power it up. See if it goes this time. Display. Still nothing. Okay. Let's check the resonator again. See if there's any difference here now. Maybe the resonator's not working still. Well, it could be that capacitors are shorting out and it's stopping the reset circuit from working. First thing is get the resonator going. I'm not seeing anything. The resonator isn't running. Resonator is dead, Jim. Yep, there's nothing there. Okay, we shall keep going. I'm thinking about this now. So it's probably a power supply fault now. I know there's definitely an error there. I know there's power getting across here. Power's getting in because that's that track that burnt out. Are these getting warm? That's the next thing. Usually if it's a bad capacitor, the regulators warm up quite quickly. But they're not feeling too bad. I'm not really feeling the warmth there. There's not much current actually going through them. They're not really warming up. Let's just double check this again. Definitely 5 volts. Definitely 8 volts. Okay. Let's check across this chip. 4.5 volts. That's a little bit low. So there could be a bit of a load. A voltage drop somewhere. I'm still suspicious about this resistor array, because it's got that glue in there and it could be shorting all the legs out. You know, it's I don't know. Or it could be that glue behind the IC even. Still not feeling any heat in these, and that's a bit unusual. You'd have the wires floating around inside it. Oh my god. Alright. Yeah, this one's getting slightly warm now. The 8 volts got a little bit of warmth there. Yeah, don't know. More investigation required. Right, so let's probe me around on this thing and we'll see what we get. Now I've got my scope set up and I want to be on pin 49, so I've counted all the way up. I've actually marked the pin here. There's pin 49 just there. Okay, be careful not to slip off. And turn the radio on off. I'm getting almost nothing there. There is no reset pulse. There's no reset pulse, which is why the CPU isn't working. And the reset pulse comes from somewhere else. Okay, so if you get the reset pulse to work, then the CPU will reset, and then it might work. The resonator relies on the CPU running. Kind of. I don't know, it could be a few things going on at once. I'm still not sold this resonator's okay. It might still be dodgy. There could be other problems there. I might have to just run some separate wires straight off and send off wires so I know it's definitely connected up properly. In case it's shorted on something else on the board or something which I haven't identified yet. But so pin 49 is the reset pin, and that's not resetting. There's no proper pulse there. There's nothing. I was seeing a little bit of noise there as it spikes, and that's only about 200 millivolts, and that's not a reset pulse. So yeah, still issues. So I'm thinking I might have to just go through and replace these capacitors to start with. That's a super cap. I might be able to leave that in place. It depends if it's okay or not. I might just replace those caps there and see if that improves the situation, because that little chip there is a reset chip. That's the one that does the reset pulse, and that powers a transistor, controls a transistor which is on the bottom of the board, which then goes over to that pin with some other bits and pieces, you know, some resistors and stuff like that. But usually it's capacitor problems, and at this age none of these have been changed yet, so it's likely this is mostly capacitor problems. So I'm going to go and do that and I'll come back. Well, so I started cleaning up this PCB some more, and I noticed that there's what looks like a cut in the track just there. It's been scratched. I don't think it's got anything to do with the resistor mod for his, because it had a link across the origin, so I think that should be linked together. I think I might have to try rejoining that. I've replaced some capacitors, and I've also remounted the resonator on a couple of little legs to stand it up, and now I'm actually getting resonation off that. I don't have a proper super cap, but this one will do for now. I've replaced these caps here and one just over there. That's it so far. I haven't touched any other ones, and I'm actually getting resonation. Well, I'm getting the resonator working now at least, so you can look on the scope there and you'll see I've got a waveform from it, so the resonator's working now, but I'm still not getting display coming up. So I'm just trying to find any other issues. There's a few places on the board that have been worked on. There's flux residue there. So whether or not that's related, I don't know. It may be okay, but so I thought let's give this board a bit of a clean and try and get all the mess off it and try and see it a little better there. And I'm hoping it isn't a case of a problem with the glue underneath the chip, because I don't really want to take the chip off if I can avoid it. I'm hoping to avoid it. Now, just on the back of this regulator here, which has been replaced, the common of the regulator, which normally goes to 0 volts, on these radios it goes through a diode to give it a voltage offset, so that it's actually half a volt higher. Okay, Now this diode, I just measured it across here and it showed a short. So I've just taken it out rather roughly. You can see it's got like a stream of solder on it and stuff. Alright, and I just tested it and it's still a short. So this diode is blown. So which means this regulator is not putting out enough voltage, which means it might not be enough power for the rest of the circuit. So I'm going to need to put in a diode on there to replace this shorted one. It probably blew at the same time as that regulator went. It just wasn't detected at the time. Right, so as luck will have it, I have a diode which looks to be about right. I'm not quite sure what it's supposed to. I think this is a signal diode sort of thing, really. So that's the original, which is shorted. And here's a replacement, which I hope to put in. Nothing that way. .56. So yeah, silicon diode. Nothing particularly special about that. So I'll put this one in, and we'll see if that changes anything. I'm going to try and record this. Hopefully without knocking the camera over. It's a little bit awkward here. There's a diode. Trying to face the other way around. This is when having a pair of tweezer irons would be really handy. I don't have one, so I'll just have to go side to side until I think the thing's bedded down properly. Okay, that's pretty much it. Good as I'm going to get anyway. So I'm not even sure this is going to solve any problems. It might just be something which is just hanging around. Okay, here we go. Right. Let's see if it changes anything. Oh, we have a display. Okay, yes, it changed something. So I'm going to put this ball back in again, and I shall test with the ball back in at least. So it's just half a volt low, but when you only got 5 volts anyway, you know, half a volt, it's a fair difference really. You know, 10%. So I still need to recap this whole ball, but at least now I'm on to the next stage of troubleshooting. Okay. Let's get this up so you can see. There you go, we have a display. But she's still dead, Jim. It's got a TX light coming on, no RF output. Let's just double check all the switches are still okay after my messing around. Definitely no output. The coder's not working. Oh, no, there we go. Now it's working. A bit dirty. I'm just checking the other band because the fault can be band dependent if it's above or below 28 megahertz. Definitely on AM. That's all good there. So PA is definitely off. Yeah, it's definitely. This should be doing something, but it's not. Bands. Let's see what we've got here. It goes 29.99999 to 26. Okay, so 26 to 30 megahertz. This one. It's not bad. Now I've got to get the thing to work. So TX light's coming on, but that is all. Which means it probably has other issues with TX-RX switching as well. Check those again. Yeah, they feel okay. Not getting too hot or anything. So that's stable enough. It's not going to go anywhere. Right, let's change camera views again. So I can get the camera.